projects are you working on outside of Queensryche? Because I know you've got a lot on your plate.
Yeah, I've got a couple things that I'm pretty passionate about. One is I'm a wine fan. I've got a brand, I guess you'd call it.
Insania?
Insania. Yeah, it's we're releasing our second vintage in February.
All right, how'd you get involved in that?
Oh, it was kind of one of those things where, like everything, you're interested in something and you start leaning in that direction, and pretty soon you fall into it. I just interested in wine and the growing of grapes and cultivation of it, and just people I talked to and met, and over the years we always talked about making a signature wine, and wouldn't it be fun if it was like this, and we use these kind of grapes, and and it just kind of all finally fell together a couple of years ago. So we've been kind of actively, actually not actively, but completely immersing ourselves in that, my wife and I, and just really enjoying it. It's been a real labor of love.
Your initial release last year sold out immediately, didn't it?
Yeah, it sold out in 2 months. So we were very happy about that, but also a little frustrated because, we really underestimated what the market was and the interest was, and had any left over for us.
Which you'll rectify this season.
Yeah, this season took care of that.
And then you're also working on some film stuff, I believe.
Yeah, a few projects actually. A couple of them are musical. I'm doing scores for a couple of films, and one of them, or two of them, I'm acting in. And February, the acting part starts for one of the films, and really looking forward to that. I've never done anything like that before, so I'm on one hand fascinated, on the other hand frightened to death.
It's one thing to perform on stage every night with something you're comfortable with. It's another thing to have to go out there and perform without an audience in front of you and not get the instant.
It's a whole different thing.
Right.
Very different. Yeah.
So with all these projects going on, what do you do to unwind?
I don't think I do unwind. Yeah, I don't. Well, it depends on the time of year. I don't really actively involve myself with sports, other than sailing. I love sailing, and I have a sailing yacht, and I do a lot of that during the summer and spring. But right now in Seattle, it's pouring down rain and freezing cold, and no fun to be out on the water,
Right.
So my boat sits in right now. So, as we do in Seattle, when it's pouring down rain, you stay inside and you write songs, so
and
that's kind of
pour some wine.
Yeah, smoke a bottle of wine and write some music, So that's what the band's been working on a new album. We began a few weeks ago working on that, and so we're going to be working on it a little bit over the holidays, but then after New Year's, we're going to launch into it full time until we go out on tour in July.
What topic or idea are you sort of exploring this time with the new album?
Well, it's I can't talk about it too much, but it's we like to work with themes, and concepts. We being the age we're at, and this kind of position in our lives now of doing what we've done for close to 30 years, you see a lot of changes that take place, in the industry and in the culture. And being an armchair anthropologist, I like to look at how, things work, And I've just been really, really fascinated on how the things have become so fast. And, we want answers now.
Right.
We're disappointed that, our cell phone, isn't working, before we take off on the airplane. And we forget that, a couple of years ago, the idea wasn't even in our heads yet. And besides that, the signal kind of bounced off the satellite before it comes back down. We forget about that. We just get so used to instantaneous information and gratification. And that, to me, is really fascinating. And it's affected so much of our culture. We're kind of losing the ability to appreciate quality. We just are fascinated with quantity and having things now,
Actually, now it's too late.
Yeah, now it's too late. It's just very fast. That's affected the music industry to a point where, people aren't interested in albums anymore. They can't sit and focus on something. They can't even sit and focus and listen to music anymore. They got to be doing something else.
Right.
Multitasking. And they miss a lot that way. And so I don't know. That kind of stuff is really kind of the focus of what the record's about.
I sometimes think that, if you think about it apocalyptically, technology may sort of be the devil, if you will, because it's sort of become the demon throughout society to the extent that we can't live without it. You know what it was like almost 10 years ago when we thought the entire world was going to crash because it was turning, the millennium and everything. And it's true, we can't survive without our phone, without, can't even turn a TV on anymore without a remote. So we become,
who can find the button?
Yeah, we've become beholden to all this technology, and it's true. I think even in, as you said, even in our personal lives, we're so detached from our neighbors, even from our family, because everything is done through technology now.
Yeah, we don't even sit and have conversations anymore with our family. Everybody's on their personal computing device or their PDA or their PC or got the CD on and texting at the same time and emailing this, and God, it's just become so truncated. Our ability to speak to each other.
Absolutely,
we're losing the art of it.
Mm-hmm. Well, and then we're just losing that connection. Not just our families, communities, the world. It's like we're more global now, yet we're so disconnected and everything.
Yeah. Which is really frightening when you focus on America, for example, because we don't have an ancient culture here. We have a culture that's built on consumerism.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're all about. The buying and selling of stuff. We exist for that. And other places, of course, have a longer, more in-depth history of cultural existence. But we don't have that. So the more separated we become from each other, we're already separate,
mm-hmm.
and we're even more and more isolated. It just makes me wonder where we're going to go with that, what it's going to be like in another 30 years.
Will we even be here? My feeling is America will be a third world country by the time our grandkids grow up.
Well, I don't doubt that because, we don't manufacture anything anymore.
No?
We don't even know how to do it. We don't grow our own food. We don't make stuff. We have a huge service industry culture, or the managing of information, culture. It's definitely moving in some interesting way, and I intend to get to the bottom of it.
On the new album, no less.